Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. When it comes to the fastest TTK options in Warzone right now, we honestly have got some pretty surprising choices. There are some main meta mainstays, if you will, there that of course are meta because of their TTK being so competitive and so fast, and them also being so easy to use that naturally they're one of the go-to guns in the game. But not every insane TTK option is something you'd think is as good as it is. And so today I wanted to break down the new top 5 best time to kill meta weapons and loadouts in the game right now, some of which you probably expected, some of which maybe not. For instance, our first one here is the AS Val. This is a weapon that honestly is sort of on the come up. It's rising up in popularity as of late. For a while, this was a pretty mid-tier rifle, but they have buffed it a little bit over the past few updates, and now it is one of the better options, specifically through like the mid-range into the early long range. As you get out to 60, 70, 80 meters, it won't feel as good, but in the mid-range and like the 40, 50 meter mark, it's gonna feel really strong. All the stats here today are courtesy of True Game Data, so they are tried, true, and tested. At 48 meters, this thing's got a 793 millisecond TTK, which is super competitive by comparison to all the other main meta rifles right now. So this gun has an interesting setup. Its attachments are a little bit different than some of the other options. For instance, we have integrated barrels here. So suppressed long barrel, suppressed reinforced barrel. It's a 2-for-1 essentially. Unfortunately, that means no monolithic suppressor, but we are going for the reinforced heavy barrel here. Gives us better velocity and range, and of course keeps us off the radar. We end up with an 1118 velocity, which is pretty sufficient, and nearly a 50 meter effective damage range, which is crazy good, of course, for that fast TTK. Vertical foregrip for the max horizontal control is going to make this pattern as predictable as possible, of course. Extended 3 here is only a 55, and we do have an 896 RPM, so the damage per mag here is not phenomenal, but it kills so quick you're going to have time to reload because your enemies are going to be spectating or you know, in the gulag, whatever the case is there, right? I really do like infiltrator stock on here for the better strafe. Balanced stock would be viable here too. I know some players test around with full stock, which is kind of interesting for the better ADS and strafe, so that's kind of a unique one here. I think quick draw rear grip is a solid choice as well. And then lastly, I go for recoil springs. You can never get enough recoil on a weapon like this, especially because we are using iron sights. We want to make this thing as easy as possible, so I rock that on there. And this thing is relatively predictable and it will melt. Next up here, we've got the FFAR. This thing shreds, and surprise, surprise, it's a new battle pass weapon. Of course it's going to be good, but as it stands right now at 39 meters, like prime sniper support territory, entering the long range there, 576 millisecond TTK, this thing is going to melt as well. Again, the damage per mag is a little bit iffy because this thing just spits bullets, but it's not too difficult to use, especially with this setup on here. So if you're landing shots, you're gonna be sitting pretty. I personally love the feel of the Otero red dot on this thing. The irons are not very good, unfortunately, so even for sniper support, I'm typically rocking an optic there, and Otero is my choice. Also, unfortunately, my monolithic suppressor is still bugged. I've got this weapon max. It's not in my armory. It's just a glitch with this season. Maybe by the time this video gets posted, because I'm recording this a few days in advance, they'll have fixed this issue. But currently I'm rocking the compensator, which I think is practical to begin with. Like if you just want good control, this is great, but I'd also like to be using monolithic suppressor here. I do once more go for reinforced barrel. 1087 velocity is pretty solid. 54.5 meter effective damage range is crazy. Range of foregrip feels really good here. Horizontal control, some sprinting movement speed to make it a little bit more effective here. And then extended 2 is going to be the max option here at 60, so obviously we're rocking that. You could use this build for mid to long range. You could use this build for sniper support. It's going to be good for doing almost everything, really. And by the way, as we are breaking down all the weapons and setups here today, if you guys enjoy the video, you find the info helpful, a like rating is always really appreciated. It really helps grow the channel and share the video around. And if you happen to be new to the channel, or maybe you just haven't subscribed yet, we should change that each and every day. This is your one-stop shop for all things going on in COD, so feel free to hit that sub button, turn on those post notifications, and help get us one step closer to hitting 1 million subscribers. Next up, we have just an absolute beast, probably the highest skill gap gun on the list here today, but something that is so insane in the right hands, and that is the TR2. This thing has an insane damage range. Basically, its TTK is nuts regardless of where you're fighting. At 55 meters, this thing is looking at a 655 millisecond TTK. Utterly absurd when you compare that to basically any other gun in the game. The stipulation here, though, is that you are hitting the fire rate cap basically consistently, and you're hitting shots consistently, which is not easy to do. That's why I'm using Gunfighter on this. I want all the help in the world for making this gun, you know, efficient. I am going for Otero red dot here. Again, just my optic of choice. If you like a different one better, feel free to rock something else. Monolithic suppressor, better velocity, better damage range. Reinforced barrel, better velocity, better damage range. We have a 1500 velocity on this thing. That's going to be so good for that hit scan range, of course, making the gun feel like it is consistent and helping you land shots. 54-meter effective damage range there. Vertical foregrip, as you're spamming it, you want all the control possible, horizontally or vertically. Extended 2 is only a 40 here, but you're kind of spamming at your own rate, so you're going to know how long it takes to burn through that 40 and have to reload. Quick draw just for a faster ADS. Infiltrator stock for that better strafe, just to add in some mobility to this setup in general. Then I do use rapid fire here. This only hurts the control, but it gives us an even better theoretical TTK. If you can spam this at its max fire rate, basically no gun's going to be able to oppose this if you're consistently landing shots. This thing has the argument for being the best TTK gun in the entire game. Hey everyone, wanted to give a quick shout out to my friends over at G Fuel. Things are heating up, of course, for the summer, and G Fuel's got you covered if you're looking for energy or hydration. They've got so many different options for their energy tubs. They've got different flavors, the can options as well. And if you're just looking to stay focused and hydrated this summer, look no further than their hydration line with a bunch of fantastic flavors too. They got a little bit of something for everyone. And of course, if you're ever looking to pick up anything at all from the G Fuel sites, be sure to toss in code Immortal at checkout and you'll save yourself some cash. Link for that will be down in the description below if you're interested. Now, a weapon that's going to be very similar to the TR2, just feel a little bit different in terms of application, is actually the Tempus Torrent. Yes, it's not a BO6 gun. I know, crazy, right? This thing also insanely high skill gap because it is semi-auto. Its handling's a little bit awkward. But if you can hit your shots with this thing, good luck to anybody who is on the receiving end of them, unless of course maybe that person has a TR2, right? Or another Tempus Torrent. This thing at 44 meters, 623 millisecond TTK. That thing is almost basically at its hit scan range there. Very minimal drop off over the longer ranges. Thing can hit, but once more, you have to be able to spam it fast. You have to be accurate with it. So really good players are going to thrive with this. More so, average players are probably going to want to lean towards a full auto option there just for the reliability here. For the optic, I'm not a fan of the irons whatsoever, so I gotta rock something I'm comfortable with. For me, that's the Night Owl Model 2023. Spirit Fire Suppressor helping out with some velocity and some damage range. I also go ahead and use high grain ammo on here for more of the same. We're just over 1,000 velocity, a little bit under 1,100, which is all right for what it is. The effective damage range says it's only 20 meters, but the drop off is super minimal beyond that. On top of that, I'm also using the Hex 40 underbarrel. This is just like any other vertical underbarrel, helping out with control, so any of those are going to do the same thing there. And then the 50 round mag, why not have all the ammo in the world so you can just spray and pray and ideally just squad wipe back to back to back to back. This thing's got the potential to do it if you know what you're doing with it. And then lastly, here we've got the Striker. Yes, another non-BO6 gun, an MW3 SMG here. This thing is prime for sniper support versus other SMGs in the ultra close range, you know, the LC-10, the Ladra, whatever. It's not going to be as competitive. But after you get to the second damage range, that's where this thing starts to take over. At 23 meters, this thing got a 744 millisecond TTK, which by itself maybe doesn't sound like it's anything that crazy. Doesn't really stand out that much. If you were to see that versus other subs at that range though, nothing else really is even close to this. This thing's got such an absurd damage range, which makes it perfect for pairing with a sniper of your choice there. So here, again, not super huge on the irons, especially in the mid-range. I'm much more comfortable with a slate reflector there. Sonic suppressor once more working the same as all the other suppressors, helping out with our velocity and our range. The long barrel is going to help out with velocity and range as well. So 667 velo is great. 14 meter basically effective damage range there with a super minimal drop off beyond that. Jack Slash is awesome here. Some movement, some vertical control, some sprint speed, just making you more aggressive, and it makes the gun easier to use. That's a win-win. Then lastly, 60 round extended mag there. No big surprise, pretty standard setup for a sub. All these options today though are a ton of fun, either because they're so rewarding in the case of the TR2 and the Tempus, or you can just fry with some of these other options too. These though are 5 of the fastest TTK options in the game right now, and that is going to wrap things up. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like on it, and if you're new here, feel free to hit that sub button on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.